had an interesting one. And it was interesting because it was such a collapse of misunderstandings wrapped into one. Or at least mainly. But at the end of it all, just in many ways, I still view myself as anti-psychiatry. All right. My problem, though, is that one of the fundamental reasons that I am against psychiatry is because it seeks to control. Okay. It seeks to label people and then force measures on people that they don't want. Okay. So, and I come as well about the fact that I am, and sometimes I struggle with this in terms of considering myself, but fundamentally I am pro-choice in terms of the concept of abortion. And yet I'm also by that, and yet that's mainstay of that is, again, the concept of I'm in favor of choices. I do not like the control aspect of it. And these are two things, together with my knowledge of nutrition and how ridiculous it has gotten in terms of people swearing that, if you eat this, you're killing someone. If you kill that, you're killing someone. If you, how dare you choose that? That substance is going to really kill you. It's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt. And it's not like I don't have my preferences and I don't have my strong beliefs, especially with regards to genetically modified organisms. I am against them. But at the same time, I'm not of the ilk of, ban GMOs outright. I know quite a few countries have. My thing is, if you want that, if you really want to eat it, go ahead. But via this monopolization or virtual monopolization of the food supply, you're forcing others to do so, and that's where it's wrong. And it was brought up in terms of psychiatry originally of the construct of if someone was emotionally unstable, would you in essence allow them, if they were a pregnant mother, to use psych drugs, which might hurt their unborn child, and it's like, and I'm thinking to myself, and unfortunately my thing is that I immediately went in with the concept of, and I was really exhausted as well last night, so when I did this, and with the fact that, not of my broader definition of drugs and of my understanding of how many people have said, processed sugars, you're going to kill someone, fish, nuclear radiation from Fukushima, nuclear radiation from the Hudson River in terms of via Indian Point nuclear power plant leaking for 30 years. Heavy metals in the Hudson River. There's all sorts of things that you could easily say, and there's and 90%, if not more, of RX drugs are indeed contraindicated, or at least they say, strongly caution you don't use this, consult your doctor if you're pregnant. So, as I really do want to have children, in the not so distant future, and as I consider all these known quote-unquote rules, shall we say, of society, and heavily judgmental, I come down on the construct that you need to let women choose. You need to let people choose which risk are they going to take. I don't use, right now the only thing that I use is turmeric, and occasionally I use diphenhydramine, more commonly known by the name of Benadryl. But I almost never use the name brand. That's one of the substances that if I took it when I was pregnant, that would be likely a big problem. And therefore, even though I occasionally use it at this point, I would probably stop. But I'm not going to tell someone that may have it some more severe or may not, and may have other issues. You need to stop this. You must stop. You are going to hurt your child. No way. There's no way I am going to do that. I am not going to say to other women, or have it said, and because again, it could always very easily be turned back on me. You must, because it is this category, and therefore, if you consider yourself to be, not in favor of control, then you must exert some other kind of control. No, that's freaking wrong. And at first I blocked them on Twitter. And I, and never done this before, probably never will again. I deleted the tweets thinking, this argument has gotten so out of hand, it's ridiculous. And it's not even a freaking argument. It was like this one person pounding. One of those things that makes me think, oh my gosh, should I just plain leave social media? And yet in the end I'm realizing maybe I was too tired. But they went at me afterwards on YouTube, and I deleted that, and I'm like, you know what, this is nuts. So I did indeed create this video in part because of that. My thing is that, again, I am pro freedom of choice. Same regards in terms of another controversial subject, vaccines, okay? Which I'm not definitely completely vehemently against them all, okay? Don't believe the science makes sense, especially in terms of how they've, changed their minds as to how it supposedly works, in terms of, at first they said it's just one training session and you'll be immune forever, and now it's, you have to get boosters every now and again for everything. And I know for myself, whenever I get the flu, whenever I've said yes to the flu shot, I've gotten the flu about 2 to 3 months later, and whenever in the seasons I've not gotten the flu vaccine, I've not gotten the flu at all. So, I'm definitely anti-flu vaccine. Okay, in terms of my own use. But I'm not I'm not going to tell society, you must ban it. But I'm going to say, for me, no, don't give it to me. I don't want it. I know in terms of, as well, my choice in pain management. I've had many people say, oh, try marijuana. I'm allergic to it. We're talking about my throat swelling up and closing up, and my having trouble breathing, in terms of allergy. So, I'm not a, pothead or, former junkie. I'm just someone that really is clinically allergic to it. Same thing, actually, although it's worse, it occurs with opioids in terms of oxycodone, hydrocodone. There, though, it's more extreme in terms of the reaction. It's a full-on facial swelling and throat closing up, and it's a real mess. I'm in favor of choices. Some people, the more widely used thing is called kratom. Okay, again, it's should we say, a natural narcotic, I guess you'd call it, in terms of the fact that it's also a painkiller. It's also a plant, so it's more akin to marijuana, if you want to categorize it, than it is. It's also in the coffee family of plants. But I'm not gonna try that. For me, turmeric and black pepper and acupuncture work quite well. At this point, I use an acupressure mat. Overall, what I'm trying to, illustrate is I'm anti-authoritarian. I believe, especially in terms of as I want a single-payer medical care system, that we need to give people a variety of options, which is to say, let them choose whatever works for them. Let them find their best treatments, their best things. Don't demand that they do anything in terms of receive anything, but offer it. And then offer the full array of research and let people decide point by point what they want and what they don't. And go from there. If we are indeed to declare ourselves and consider ourselves a free society, which, sorry, in the USA I don't. From what I've seen, I don't. We like to claim it, we're really not. We have a pretty advanced caste system, and we have an oligarchy. But if you want to try and lay claim to that as a free society, you have to say, yeah, we're going to make fools of ourselves a little bit. Yeah, we're going to have disagreements. Yes, not everything is going to work for everyone. So we have to allow the options without the force. Shalom.